Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wonderland of Possibilities, where anything is possible and magic is real. My name is Venus Castleberg, your host, and so grateful and happy to be here with you today. How does it get better than this? And today, talking about what is the gift of being the black sheep in the family. I don't know about you, but I have been labeled as different and weird and stood out most of my life. I've definitely tried to play normal. I've tried to fit in, but alas, was never quite able to do so. Um, and I thought, with the holidays coming up right now and where, we just tend to I don't know, we get weird around the families. I don't maybe I'm the only one, but I think I'm not the only one that gets weird around the families. And, um, you might have somebody in your family that you get along great with, and that's awesome. I'm not talking about that, but, I am talking about, the family reunions that you go to or the family gatherings that you go to, and you feel like you do not belong to this family. You don't know how you were born into this family, any of those sorts of feelings, and they often come up around the holidays. So, I wanted, first of all, to say you're not alone. So, don't worry, you're not alone. And you're not as fucked up as you think you are. Meaning, even though you're different, what if that difference was one of the greatest gifts? What if that difference was one of the greatest invitations you can be to everyone in your life? It doesn't even have to be just your family, but that willingness to be different and just be like, you know what? I'm different. I'm weird, right? The true meaning of weird, by the way, just a little side note, is of spirit, fate, or destiny. So it takes weird into a different category when you think of spirit, fate, or destiny, right? And what if your weirdness, your difference, everywhere where you were called a black sheep or, yeah, just didn't fit in, was one of the greatest gifts? And we have these classes in Access Consciousness called X-Men classes. And it really is about just learning to be okay with being different, to tap into that difference that actually is some of your superpowers and the greatest contributions that you can be. I mean, think about the people that you've been around that were just, and you might even have somebody else in your family that was labeled a black sheep and you weren't quite labeled a black sheep, but they were, and you just tried to not be like them. However, if you look back at them, don't you kind of admire them a little bit? Don't you admire the person that's willing to stand out and be different, um, and not fit in? Don't you admire the person that, can be as crazy and off the wall and goofy and funny and right? And doesn't care what anybody else thinks? And what if you could not care this holiday season? Now, I'm not saying don't care about people and don't be kind, but what if you could just not care about what people thought about you, especially your family? And how much more ease might you have if you were just like, okay, I'm different, and maybe this will invite them to a different possibility, and maybe it won't, but it's not really about them anyway. I had somebody recently who's on my team tell me that she really finally got to the point where she realized that um, other people's points of view about her were none of her business. And it really didn't matter what other people thought of her, it mattered what she thought of her. And it made me cry because it's so true. It's like it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. It only matters what you think of you. And if you see yourself as different and that difference is a gift, then it won't matter what anybody else thinks. But if you're judging your difference and you're thinking that you're weird and a black sheep and you don't fit in anywhere, and you're judging that, it will just make you feel wrong all the time. So you can either be grateful for your difference or you can judge it. It's just a choice. And I wonder what you might like to choose today. Thank you for being here on Wonderland of Possibilities. It's always a pleasure to see you and to be with you. Have a magical day. Bye.